Hello, if you've been before, welcome back. If not, hi, my name is David. I make videos talking about media that I want to talk about. This is my TBR for August. This month I am pushing myself a bit more than I should, but I'm going to have a little bit more fun, and I'm going to try a handful more books than I should plan ahead for. But some of these are kind of short books as well, so maybe it'll work out in my favor. I don't know. We'll see. We'll talk about it. I also have a handful of challenges that I want to talk about as well, so let's get into it. So this month I have a lot of books to read. Just start off as usual, books that are low priority. If I have time, I'll get to them, but I'm not running to read them. These are books that I talked about that I've had for like a long time I want to revisit. I have 13 little almost at elephants, Little Blue Envelopes by Maureen Johnson, which I had talked about last month for my TBR. I didn't get to it, so it's rolling over this year. And then because I wasn't able to get to 13 Little Blue Envelopes, I have to get to another book as well, which is The Kingdom by Jess Rothenberg, which is also a book that I've had for like a long time. This is a woman who is a robot, I believe, who's a princess in this kingdom trademark fantasy theme park based at like Disney. And she's like a princess, and then she begins to fall in love with like a caretaker there named Owen, and they both run away and escape from the kingdom. And this feels like a YA book that I don't think I want to continue having on my shelf for much longer. But I have to reread it just in case to see if I like it or not. So these are two books that are low priority. I know that I'm not going to quite enjoy 13 Little Blue Envelopes, but I just feel bad if I let it go. So I need to read it. I might DNF it. I might try to read it for like one day. And if I can't read it in one day, then I'm just going to DNF it because I don't think it's for me anymore, but I've had it for a long time, so might as well try it. And same thing with The Kingdom. I remember reading this in one day the first time I got it. So I was like, maybe I can read it again in one day. We'll see. Okay, I moved so that I can place them here. You can see them as I talk about them. The next crop of books I wanted to talk about Book of the Month. This July, Book of the Month options were not that good for me. I did not quite enjoy most of them. So I decided that I am, one, for the next few months up until October, gonna double up on Book of the Month in terms of the book that I get from that month, and then a catch-up book because I've been able to get some add-ons and such. And so for last month in June, the book of the month was Everything Was Beautiful and Nothing Hurt, which I read. And as an add-on book, I had gotten Fights by Scott McClanahan. Oh, you can't see that. It's a very simple cover, and I saw it and I was like, it's going to be a quick read. Spoiler alert, I read it in one day, because the text is also huge. Like, that's some huge text. And this is a memoir about the author and his relationship with his wife and his publisher in terms of like the ups and downs of their professional and platonic relationship. I believe this is supposed to be fiction, but I checked on Goodreads and it's just, or sorry, nonfiction, and it's on Goodreads it's listed as contemporary fiction. But as far as I can tell, this is nonfiction. This is a memoir. It's just told in a contemporary literary fiction way. So I don't know, but I did read it in one day at least. So that's spoiler alert. I already finished it. And then for I don't remember when I got this, or I got it because I was a BFF on Book of the Month. I'm reading Wild Dark Shore by Charlotte McConaughey. Um, this one is the Lolly winner of 2025, and so as a BFF, I get the winner the next year. So I have to catch up on this one. Also, this is the Book of the Month pick for March of 2025, which can replace the slot of what's it called? The March Book of the Month pick was Our Infinite Fates, which I did not like, which I did not keep. But I wanted to have like the book of months for each month that I've been using it for. Not all of them are represented here, as you can see, but this can cover that if I like it, you know? Next, just some general books that I want to read and touch on. What's the term? I'm too late for this. Like I should have started this much earlier in the year, but I dragged my feet for some reason. And I don't know why, because spoiler, I already started it as well. But I'm reading The Secret Keeper of Jaipur by Alka Joshi, which is the sequel of the trilogy. It's called the Jaipur trilogy. The first book was The Henna Artist, which I read earlier in the year, which I absolutely adored. And so I wanted to keep reading the trilogy. And this is set 10, 15 years in the future. I can do the math because here it's like 1950 something. 1955 is when this book takes place. The Henna Artist. And then The Secret Keeper is set in 1969. After the events of The Henna Artist, the main character of The Henna Artist, Lakshmi, and her helper Malik and her sister Ragada had to go to Shimla, a different city closer to the Himalayas, to escape her reputation and scandal that was happening in Jaipur. Now, Malik, who was 10-ish years old before, is now 20. He's been sent by Lakshmi to learn about architecture and learn about engineering through her connections in Jaipur. And there, Malik is meeting with people that we saw before in Henna Artist, learning about architecture, learning about engineering. At the same time, Lakshmi is in the Himalayan, she's at the lower part of the Himalayas in Shimla, and she's helping make sure that Malik's girlfriend, who is a widow with 2 children, is surviving. And it all comes to a head early on when the theater that Malik and his employers are working on or have been working on before during opening night collapses and injures a lot of people and kills 2 people. And people are trying to throw blame where they believe blame should be, but Malik discovers a conspiracy about corruption and nepotism, and he's trying to uncover this conspiracy. And so I've already started it. I'm on like a few pages to finish, less than 100, I believe. And I don't know why it took me so long to read it. It's not as good as the first book, but it's still pretty good. I'll talk about it when I get to my reading wrap up. Oh, I'm not going to fit everything here. That's fine. The next book I'm going to read is a book club book, which is The Secret World of Briar Rose, which is a retelling of the Sleeping Beauty myth. I'm not 100% sure what it is about. There is a thief who's a lesbian, and then Briar Rose herself is a lesbian. They're all women, love women, and I love women. So, and these are the sprayed edges, etc. I'm also hoping, not hoping, I know it's going to be part used in, because I'm participating in Ivy, the Geek Goddesses Sapphic Bingo Challenge, and this is definitely a Sapphic book. So I will figure out where it'll go in her. This is my updated bingo board. I just have it for the Tyrant by Cormorant and Bloom by Delilah S. Dawson. So this book will eventually cover one of those spots. I don't know which spot, but it will eventually. Also connected to Ivy's Sapphic Bingo Challenge, I'll be reading The Dawn Throne by Tara Sim, which is part of the Dark Gods trilogy, and it's the last book. Oh, it says continues. Tara Sim's sweeping epic fantasy series continues. Is this not going to be a trilogy? If it's not a trilogy, oh my god, there's 4 books. The Meridian Forge? Jesus Christ. Anyways, I read the first 2 books a while ago. They're somewhere over here. Where is it? Oh, here we go. Yeah. City of Dusk and Midnight Kingdom. I read City of Dusk like 2, 3 years ago, Midnight Kingdom 1 to 2 years ago. And so I'm hoping that I remember enough about the first 2 books to be able to read this book. But it is about 4 heirs to 4 different families who are descendants from gods, who have powers from the gods, who are defying the gods, the dark gods. And I don't exactly 100% want to remember what happened at the end of the second book, but I know that they're going to a different location, and it looks like they are expanding the area, the world, which is really good. I really like the second book because of that. Like, we got a new map of Solera, which is the realm of the sun god. So we'll see how it goes. The 4 heirs, one of them, Angelica, who's my favorite character, is a woman, love woman character, and her story is really good because she, in the first book, all the 4 heirs are like thrown in together in terms of like, oh, one of them is going to be the next king, and their families are pushing them to be the next monarch, but like 3 of them don't want that, but Angelica does. But Angelica is the only one of the three of them who does not have control of her power, right? And here it's all about like having power and stuff. And so like if she can't control her power, then she is not fully eligible to be the king. But she's the only one who wants to be the monarch, the emperor or whatever. And so she's like frustrated because she's like, I I want to do this. I can stop this competition, but I can't control my elemental powers yet. And you three, the other people, have full control of their powers. They don't care. They don't want to be the king. They're like, yeah, Angelica, why don't you take it? And she's like, I can't take it because I don't have control of my powers. So that's really fun. And I forget. I think she does have a not a girlfriend, but like a connection to someone at the moment. I have to read it again, but I'll figure out what spot this will be for the bingo challenge as well. As usual, I'll be continuing my Expanse read with Nemesis Games by James S.A. Corey, the fifth book in the Expanse series. We have James Holden and his crew on the Rocinante. I believe it is simply just a survival story in terms of they are on the ship Rocinante and they're trying to get somewhere and trying not to die. And I checked because like every time I get one of these books, I check who the POV characters are. The POV characters here are all the members of the crew of the Rocinante: Holden, Amos, Alex, and Naomi. So I'm like, ooh, that means something. That means something. So I'm excited. This is gonna hurt. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, I'm not fitting everything here. That's fine. And then the latter half of the month, I'll be doing a buddy read with Isabel at Isabel Reads of the book Chain Gang All Stars by Nana Kwame Adjei-Brenyah, which is a sci-fi dystopia book about a group of the private prison system that has gladiator trials, and it looks like there's the group, the Chain Gang, is working together to try to escape this dystopia world. And I've been wanting to read this for a hot minute, and so Isabel and I are going to be doing a buddy read of this because I believe this covers one of the a challenge of hers. I forget exactly what it is. I'm so sorry, but she said she wanted to read it in August, and I was like, hey, I've been wanting to read this too, so might as well buddy read it, and we'll talk about it. Tangentially to that, I will also be participating in the short story summer challenge. I saw this from Crystal over at Fiber Artsy. She made a video introducing it, and it is just reading short stories during August. And I read a lot of short stories. I love reading short stories. I read a lot last year, and I got a little burnt out, so I've been taking a break from those. And normally, I would say I wanted to read like the Best American Science Fiction Fantasy series, but these take up a bit more brain power for me. And there's a handful of shorter books that I kind of want to read, kind of want to touch on that I can use for this. And this is going to be a less intensive challenge as well for me. It's like whatever I get to read, I can do that. And hopefully, oh, this is also the bingo board that they made. So that I'm going to try to fill this out with like the short stories. So tangential to Chain Gang All Stars, I first encountered Adjei-Brenyah from his collection Friday Black, which I read in college and absolutely adored. And so I wanted to revisit this short story collection as well, reading this before I read Chain Gang All Stars. And it's also, you know, a short collection, but some of the best short stories I've ever read have been in this collection. So I'm excited to reread this and see how I can fit it on the bingo board. I think it's like 9 or 10 short stories. Like 12 short stories. Yeah. Some of these stories have constantly haunted me for like the past few years. So I've been really excited to revisit this. It's not going to fit here, so I'm going to do that. So I wanted to revisit it because I'm reading Chain Gang All Stars. I'll also be revisiting The King in Yellow by Robert M. Chambers. I've consumed a lot of The King in Yellow content kind of quasi recently. Like recently, I read Hailey Piper. I'm so sorry. A Game in Yellow book, but also I have listened to Malevolent, which is a adaptation of the not an adaptation, but it's like a what's the term? It's like an adaptation, but like an original thing. I forget what it's called, but it is about the King in Yellow and other Cthulhu Mythos stuff. And so I wanted to revisit. I did read this short story collection prior. It's only 4 short stories, but they're kind of long. and also might want to do a kill count for this. I'm not fully sure. I'll see what happens. This is a lower priority one, but I wanted to touch on the books that I'm rereading. New books, new short story collections is The Age of Calamities by Senna Ahmad, which is this is an arc of this book that I just got for some reason, and this is just a bunch of short stories by Senna Ahmad. Is an evocation of life and death on history's unsteady margins of how to reckon with the blunt force trauma of ill-fated times. Cleverly, fiercely clever and wildly inventive, this debut establishes Senna Ahmad as a literary force. So it's a debut. It looks like she's published a handful of these before, and it's just like a collection of all of them together. I've not heard of Senna Ahmad before, but this is a really fun cover, and it has a bunch of short stories, so I can beat those. And then also lower priority, along with The King in Yellow, is Gabriel Garcia Marquez's Strange Pilgrims, which is a short story collection of his short stories, which I didn't know that Gabriel Garcia Marquez had short stories to read, and these look to be like contemporary to his time. 12 short stories, and so I'm hoping to with these four books, getting a wide net of books of short story genres and protagonists and topics and stuff, and so yeah, I will see how this goes. Lower priority ish as well. So technically 13 books. Usually I try to read only 8 or try to plan for 8 books. If we do not count the lower priority books that I need to reread, that's 13 minus 2 is 11. And I've already finished 2. Well, I haven't finished Eager Keeper, but I'm going to finish it today. So that's already 2. So I have 9 books to read in the rest of the month. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. If you want to join us for our buddy read for Changing Altars, please do. And yeah, I'm super excited for all these books. Also, nice, pretty colors. I really like the Secret Briar purple here with like the golden of the Dawn Throne and then the red of the Expense. You're kind of far. Come closer. Yeah, no. Short stories, pretty small, pretty short. So maybe I can get them in one day or something. I don't know. I also want to also like I've been trying to do this for some of the short story collections I've been reading, where I mark out which of the short stories I like, and also like try to like grade them. So like I wanted to do that with these as well. So that's going to take up a little bit of time as well. But super excited to get to these. Super excited to get to these as well. And yeah, if you've read any of these books before and have heard any of these short stories, let me know. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Share with your friends. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to be passionate, and I'll see you later.